Make room for Javi.
Welcome to my Project a Day video, where I explain a project or tell a story each day for a year, and I attempt to complete my shop. Today is day 5 of 365, and today's project is wiring up UFO lights 4 through 6. Today's story, I've titled it, Space is Money. Space is money is a very powerful term. Now, realtors know this second nature. Obviously, the more land you buy, the more expensive it is. So space is definitely money when it comes to that. But let me share a story with you of how expensive space could actually be if not used wisely. It was the mid-'80s, and I was at FIU when I found out about this wonderful yearly auction, a surplus auction. FIU were getting rid of a bunch of old VGA CRT monitors. CRT stands for cathode ray tube, which is basically the old-fashioned television sets, monitors, etc. VGA stands for Video Graphics Array, and they were coming out with the new SVGA. The VGA monitors handled 640 by 480. The SVGA handled 800 by 600. 640 by 480 was more than adequate for most people's needs, and they were still somewhat valuable. I went to the auction with that in mind. I ended up spending $1,000 on close to 350 monitors. My entrepreneurial spirit wanted to sell these at the Hamfest. Let me explain what a Hamfest is now. A Hamfest is for ham radio operators. It was a yearly electronics show where a bunch of people, basically think of it like a flea market for electronics. There's the high-end exhibitors that sold ham radios back in the 80s, and then there were the cheaper swap shop tables where it was a flea market. The content there wasn't old tools or old clothes or anything you'd see at a flea market. It was electronics of some type or another. So now here I am with a whole bunch of monitors and no space to keep them. I'm living with my parents, and while my room is rather large, a 2-car garage with an additional room on the side, it's still not enough to store 350 monitors and all the other junk that I purchased. I had 2 days to clear out all this stuff, so I rented a U-Haul, took it all to a storage space, and basically left it there until the Hamfest. The storage space would run me $200 a month for a 10 by 10 spot. Honestly, it wasn't that big of a waste of money because I had a lot of my excess stuff that wouldn't fit in my room. I put it in there. Scuba diving gear and a bunch of other stuff. I was really into scuba diving and I had a lot of expensive gear. So the Hamfest rolls around. I rented 8 tables at $5 a piece and loaded them with monitors. Almost all of them priced at about $20 a pop. I was selling monitors hand over fist that weekend. I ended up pulling in $2,000 in monitors alone. Some of them sold for $5, some of them for $10, some of them for $20. At the end of the show, I still had about 100 monitors left inside the truck. Yes, I rented another truck to take them from the warehouse to the Hamfest. At the end of the show, the 100 or so monitors that I had left went straight into the dumpster. When I tell you about the Hamfest, I'll have a lot of funny anecdotes about the dumpster. So I go home happy as a clam, feeling like a successful entrepreneur with my $2,000 in my pocket, but not quite $2,000 because at the Hamfest you tend to spend a lot of money on things you like at the show. Regardless, how much profit did that venture make? Now, I'm not going to go into the value of my time, spending, bidding, moving stuff back and forth, the constant reorganization, the time at the show. Suffice to say that never entered my mind as a young adult. But one thing that I did learn was the futility of storage places. People watch those shows all the time where they buy a storage locker and they find these gems and these... that happens very rarely. In my case, I spent $200 a month for a year, totaling $2,400. I purchased monitors for $1,000, ended up making $2,000. On the surface, that alone is a loss of $1,000. If any of you are storing things in a storage facility, do some simple math. Total all the items' values in that storage facility. Compare it to the annual rate for that storage facility. In most cases, if you threw away the items, saved the money for the storage facility for a year, you could buy brand new items and have money left over. Renting out all that space cost me money. Space is money. Tomorrow's project is to move some more stuff around and add some more insulation to the first quarter. And I'll share a story how I almost didn't graduate from high school. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment. I enjoy reading them, particularly when they're pleasant. Please subscribe, and as always, have a great day.
Make room for Javi.